Hello, my classmates. Today, Kraft sells over 1 million boxes of mac and cheese. That's according to a report of Tastemasters.com. They continue to explain that Kraft mac and cheese is a household favorite among Canadians, which makes sense why my Canadian relatives and myself have always been such a fan of mac and cheese. Canada consumes 55% more mac and cheese than the US. Mac and cheese can be made by anyone. It's important to know the skills of mac and cheese because it's relatively available at any store and it can be a cheap, delicious meal for novice or expert cooks. To make this meal, you really only have to perform 3 steps: preparation, cooking the pasta, and finishing with the sauce ingredients. To start, you're going to need a box of Kraft mac and cheese. You're going to need a cooking pot with 6 cups of water for boiling. You're going to need 4 teaspoons of butter, a 1/4 cup of milk, and you're also going to need a strainer, a stirring utensil, which I'll be using a spoon. According to Kraft Box, you can use substitutions for the recipe, such as margarine for the butter or water for the milk, but I think that the traditional recipe tastes the best. So let's start by boiling the water. You're going to need a good clean pot, access to a stove burner, either gas or electric will do. I usually turn the burner all the way up and wait till the water starts bubbling and then decrease the heat to low medium range once it starts boiling. Now that your water is boiling, it's time for the second phase. You're going to want to open up your box of Kraft mac and cheese. Very important step. Make sure you take the cheese packet out of the box before dumping your ingredients in. Don't throw this away. You're going to need this for a later process. Go ahead and put that aside. Now go ahead and dump all your noodles inside and stir in that boiling water until they become a little bit less hard than what they are now. What I like to do is set a timer for about 8 minutes. And once at 8 minutes, then you can go ahead and check your noodles to see if they're ready to be drained out. Once your 8-minute timer kind of goes off, go ahead and use your stirring utensil to pick up one of the noodles to make sure it's tender enough. Which this mac and cheese, these noodles are now tender enough. So now we'll go to the next process, the straining. Now that we're at the straining process, go ahead and pour your whole pot's contents into the strainer. Just like so. You're going to want to make sure that all your noodles are completely strained of any water, so sometimes you might have to shake it a little bit. To complete the final process, you're going to want to dump all your noodles back into the previous bowl you were using before. Just like that. Perfect. And now, on to the final stage. Mac and cheese is brilliant because the sauce can be made in the same pot as the pasta that you were previously making. The butter will serve to bind the cheese powder to the pasta. The milk will thin out the sauce that makes the meal creamy. And now let's start adding the ingredients. I like to add the butter first because it gives it time to melt, which now that we're adding the butter in there, gives it time to melt. Go ahead and stir it through the mac and cheese. And then I like to add the cheese powder. Go ahead and stir that with the butter and the noodles. And last, but importantly not least, you're going to want to use a 1/4 cup of milk. And that'll make it nice and creamy. So go ahead and stir all those ingredients together. Sometimes it can take a little longer, but sometimes not. Go ahead and stir those together until it makes a nice, creamy, yellow pasta. And this right here is how the finished product should look. I've always enjoyed mac and cheese, and now I get the pleasure of enjoying it with my children as well. Oh, Cassidy, hey, can you try this for me? You like it? It's really good? Alright, well, she likes it, so. Well, there you have it. Mac and cheese is an easy meal that anyone can make. So now it's your turn. Go ahead and try it yourself at home. Thanks for your time.